I look at this situation with Hassan, Campbell, and I look at Akademiks and Whack 100, it's a certain spirit I see, right? It's a certain spirit I see that a lot of people who ignorant, if you ignorant, you're just not gonna feel this video at all. You might as well just, but if you tapped in with self to a certain extent, you're gonna feel where I'm coming from. But it's a certain spirit I see, especially when Hassan was getting cut off, when he started to talk about us being tribal leaders, and he really started to speak with sense, right? The spirit that I seen was, look up King Gezo, who was the king of the Dahomey tribe in Africa, right? Back in ages ago, and he was a slave trader, and he loved from what I'm studying, he loved trading slaves. Even when he died, it was said that hundreds of slaves were slaughtered in his memory of his own people, right? Right? When you look at dudes today, and you look at people today, and you look at the industry, and you look at the way that things are promoted through rap music to urban communities, you look at the toxic masculinity, the, chest out, murderer, drug dealer, selling drugs to your own people. It's the same spirit. It's the same spirit of someone who would, if it was those days, would enslave their own people. They're still enslaving the people, right? Except they're doing it mentally more than ever now. It's not just physical bondage. And in some cases, there is, blackmail is kind of physical bondage there, right? But more so mentally, more so psychological damage. Psychologically having a hold on somebody. And a lot of people, I see a lot of people that's like, oh, the whole thing's staged. My whole thing is like, I don't get those vibes at all. I get the vibes that Hassan went there, underestimated, and through his experience in life, being around the most wicked people, you gotta think about who being Bada, who he was, bro. We're talking about the most wicked people. He was 100 times what a lot of these guys are in that time, in that era. He had an army. Hassan was around master manipulators already, man. He already knew what the industry was about. He already knew what the game was about. What he did was he learned to use that as a wolf in sheep's clothing, use his emotions to make you think he was weak and off point. Right? Now, when I watched the video the other day with DJ Akademiks and Hassan, and I seen how Akademiks acted like something like, oh, like something was up with his phone after Hassan told him he didn't want to speak to Whack, and see, this is where I'm at, this is where I'm at. So, nah, I'm not in the hood, none of that, no. I'm here, this is my home, right? But, this is where I learned from. But, after Hassan told Akademiks, look, I don't want to talk to him. You literally see the position Akademiks plays and how he played dumb. See, we know Akademiks is smart. You're not going to get to know certain levels without being smart. He knew what he wanted to do the whole time. It was going to bring in them views, them numbers. And all that was to make Hassan look, to pretty much just put a shadow on a light he was shining, right? And it's like, the more I look at that, I'm like, damn. Academics, if Hassan was to get locked up in that case, it would either be through Akademiks or 6ix9ine. Those will be the key players. See, you got to look at weaknesses and strengths. If I was Hassan in that situation, like, I don't know what his plans is, what other hands he's got, as far as hands, you know, what other moves he got, but or what he's got in play. But I would just completely stop dealing with Akademiks and 6ix9ine overall. I don't see nothing good coming out of that. You talking? Hassan said it himself. 6ix9ine, that industry puppet. I get MK, like, come on, that's MK Ultra vibes right there, right? You don't even want to play with that type of energy. You don't even want to play with that type of energy. Like, even when you look at the table, when you see Hassan drinking, luckily he had his people with him, but it's all types of stuff people can slip in drinks where you might not even know what happened. It's all types of stuff people could, if there was a setup, it would be coming from them too at this point. Because it would be coming from them too. You know? And the reason why I felt like it wasn't a whole big stage thing is because why would you put, at that point, if it was, why would y'all even risk the danger of disrespecting Nip like that and putting that out, you know, to slander the man's name? The backlash that could come from that. You know, it's like it clearly ain't good. It's dangerous to say that about somebody like that that's loved by so many. And when you look at that, it's like, as far as with Nip, if that was staged, which I don't believe it was, that's a special type of hell. That's a special type of hell. The afterlife is real. The afterlife is real. Just believe that. And the things we do in this life, we will have to pay for. We create our own hells and we create our own heavens. So the things that we do, we will pay for it. You know, the clock's ticking on a lot of things and a lot of people. Don't ever sell yourself short. And my biggest message is to those people, to the youngins that want to get in the industry, that's just coming from, you know, from their regular neighborhoods, and stop trusting these slick talking older men, especially slick talking, master manipulate. They know how to talk to you. You know, they know you see money in your green. They know that. Start connecting with the real riches. I'm not perfect. I didn't come down to earth to be perfect. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. But at the end of the day, the goal is to constantly humble yourself, constantly master your lower self, right? Work on your weaknesses so you can evolve, so you can pass the test when it's time to get out this physical body. And when Hassan started talking similar to that, when he started talking like that, he was cut off in front of the world to see. He was cut off every time. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes, but once you walk into certain doors or you start dealing with certain people and they put that noose around your neck, and that's really what my message is for those that want to rap and want to be hip-hoppers and rappers. And is it even worth it anymore? Or do you want to fight to get the real riches back? That nature, them trees, that land, right? This is the real riches. This is really what's worth connecting with. And right now, there's somebody ignorant that's going to watch this video and they're going to be like, oh, look at this, look at him, thinking he's smart, or judging me or criticizing me, because that's what ignorance does. When you start speaking like this, when you start speaking life, you got to understand there's unseen civilizations that hear us when we talk. That's why when we talk ignorant, that's why when we talk devilish. That's why when we put that in the music, it comes right back to us. It bounces right back to us. So it's the power of the tongue. You got to be careful what you put out there. You got to be careful. As far as 6ix9ine, one thing I learned about Hassan through this situation is Hassan. I already knew the man wasn't dumb, but he know how to play chess when it's time to play chess against people who, like he said, is the devil, right? Nipsey Hussle deserved the rest in power. He deserved justice. Everybody can feel that underlying treachery in that situation, and that is deeper. The rabbit hole goes deeper. We all can sense that. All our intuitions can pick up on that, and we all know it, right? All I'm gonna say is just tap back into nature, tap back into your land. I just seen 2 elders on a boat, going down this river, and they were so peaceful. They were so happy. But when I get online and I look at elders from certain neighborhoods, New York City, places that I'm from, it's like attention seeking. It's gang banging. It's everything, and it's destruction. And I truly believe the big war here is to make us all cloned out, in a sense, to destroy that essence of a tribal leader. What Hassan was saying, a tribal leader. To destroy that essence. They want to fully behead that spirit. And they want to turn us all into toxic gangster rappers. And, that's worse than crack, the music now. It's worse than crack. I seen what it done. I was there 2011 when Chief Keef popped off. When Chief Keef popped off and he had the I Don't Like, and like I seen what it did to people. I seen it. That's my generation. I seen it. I was there. I remember it like yesterday. And music can be worse than crack. It's a war through that music. Triple X told us before he died. He said he talked about the frequency of music. You had ODB. He talked about music. It's a certain frequency, and that's the war that's getting us. It's hitting us a certain way, and if you don't know how to program your subconscious to say no, you'll be influenced in a way that you can't imagine, because it'll get in your spirit, like a parasite, and it'll start to take over. What Hassan was doing was, I seen it was similar to like with Wallow. When Dirk's camp was around, he was trying to get that energy. He was trying to pull that energy. But let me say this: it may not have worked there, but it worked. It worked for the viewers, for a lot of viewers that was watching, a lot of young viewers that was on that frequency. I know they peeped certain things. They took certain things from that. Very, very small percent possibly, but I still wouldn't underestimate, because you never know. You never know the ripple effect of our words and how it could affect people in the world. And I feel like that's why he was cut off so much. He was cut off so much. Like, why did it have to turn into a thing of sizing up and beef and drama? And that's toxic masculinity to me. Any warrior, any true warrior. The warriors, like when you look at even in UFC, right? I'm gonna use John Jones for example, because he's from my hometown, right? Chandler Jones, these are people I ate lunch at the table with, right? John Jones was a light heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC for how long, right? John was, when people like that, they didn't have to run around trying to, prove something. We all have our flaws, but what I'm trying to say is, like, it gets toxic masculinity gets corny. It gets played out. That's not what being that's being tough and all that. That doesn't make you a man. You know, and people like DJ Akademiks got to stop using the excuse, "Oh, I'm not a street dude," and still be feeling the fire low key. You know, rest in power to all them Chicago souls that died. Rest in power to them. You know, you don't have to be a street dude. If you playing in that energetic field, you're responsible. You playing that, you align yourself with certain energy. It is what it is. It is what it is at that point. But this is the last time I'm gonna speak on this. I'm gonna just say to everybody, just do what you can to connect to really what's important. And I know, you know, and as far as the rap industry, the music industry, just do your best to not make that a goal all the time. Everybody wants to be rappers. I get it. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to make it. But we have to rethink what is making it. Like, what is making it? Seriously. Getting a bunch of that money, being able to buy mansions, get cars and jewelry, getting your... It's the same thing with everybody. It's the same goal. That's not goals for me. That's not goals. That's not goals. Like, I get it. Money is life to y'all, but come on. Who are you without the money then? When we learn that we rich, when we learn that we already made it, we'll stop chasing the distractions.